A flight to Dulles with some gusty winds for a packed house at the State Theater in Falls Church, Virginia, followed by a pleasant flight to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where we pack another house in Carlisle, and you'll meet our agent.
The #1 touring tribute,
followed by a night flight
to the
home.
Eagles.
It's the agent episode and another life in the fast lane. I'm John Weisswasser, pilot and drummer for Eaglemania. Follow me as I explore the practical use of general aviation while I travel the country with the world's greatest tribute to the Eagles. This is Life in the Fast Lane. This episode is about a pair of shows. The first at the State Theater in Falls Church, Virginia on a Friday night with a 6 p.m. sound check and a 9 p.m. show. The second was at the Carlisle Theater in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, with a 5 p.m. sound check and our usual 8 p.m. start time. As far as airports to use, Falls Church was an easy choice. Reagan National is pretty much off limits to GA aircraft, and Dulles is relatively close by, and I've been there many times before, like in episode 4. Carlisle, Pennsylvania is served by its own airport, but getting a rental car was going to be a little bit more tedious, especially since I was likely going to be finishing up at night. The FBO at Capital Cities, on the other hand, about 20 minutes away, had a Hertz desk in the office, so that's what I opted for. So the plan was to fly Friday afternoon the 200 miles to Dulles for the state, then fly on Saturday morning from Dulles the 113 miles to Capital Cities Airport for the Carlisle show, then return that night after the show if the weather was perfect, the 134 miles back to New Jersey. When I briefed this a couple hours before the first leg, there were gusty winds at both stations, not preclusive, but definitely challenging. The good news was that these were forecast to diminish over the course of the day from south to north. The problem was that even though Dulles has a runway 30, they almost never use it for arrivals because it crosses the approach path of runway 1 right and 1 center, their primary arrival runways. That meant I would be dealing with a pretty much direct crosswind, and while it was still within my SOPs of no more than 17 knots of total crosswind component, the gust factor was concerning. The good news, and what made me less concerned, was that runway 1 center is 11,000 feet long, and I could carry a little extra speed into the flare for better positive control. All of this was due to a strong coastal low, which had moved to the north and east the day before. The icing, turbulence, and NEXRAD loops had nothing significant to worry about. The only thing that bears mentioning were some PIREPs for 10-knot wind shear on approach into Teterboro. The winds on departure were no joke either.
Zulu 1653 Zulu, wind 310 at 10, gust 17, peak wind 300 at 27, NEXRAD at 1632 Zulu.
So I called for my clearance. I had filed for the usual, park intersection, Hyper 7 arrival.
Meridian 929er Delta Alpha Caldwell clearance, cleared to India Alpha Delta Airport B. After departure, turn left to a heading of 180. Expect radar vectors to park, then as filed. Climb and maintain 2000. Expect flight level 180, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 119.2, and you'll get your squawk upon release from the tower.
929 Delta Alpha is cleared to Dulles via on departure. Left turn heading 180, radar vectors park as filed. 2000, 18010, 119.2, squawk on release, 9 Delta Alpha.
Meridian 9er Delta Alpha, readback is correct. Advising ready taxi with Carnatus.
Wilco, 9 Delta Alpha.
There was about a 10 to 15 minute hold for release before we were cleared to depart off runway 28.
See the bird?
Oh, totally.
I'm told that the pulse lights on the wings are the best bird deterrent.
Meridian 9 Delta Alpha, you can start your left turn, wind safe and able to 180 and contact departure 119.2. Good day.
Carrier departure, thanks for your help, 9 Delta Alpha.
6 Victor Fox, heading 290, climb to 10,000, good rate up. 290, 10,000, 6 Victor Fox.
New York Meridian 929 Delta Alpha 1800, climbing 2000, 180.
929 Delta Alpha, IDEM.
929 Delta Alpha.
9 Delta Alpha, you're ready to contact 3 miles southwest to Caldwell, flighting 210.
210, 9 Delta Alpha. We're at our filed altitude of 18,000 feet. and he's now vectored us, or given us direct to an intermediate waypoint on the arrival, so that'll cut some time down. The weather there is 320 at 17, gust to 25, and scattered clouds. So that's gonna be a fight. 320, so a 50-degree crosswind, right? So it's runway 10, so 40 plus 10 is 50. So basically that's half. So what the airplane will experience in terms of a crosswind will be 9 gusting 13, which isn't bad. Totally doable. Potomac approach, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is 12000, information Alpha, request 1 center.
929 Delta Alpha, Potomac approach, roger. For now, you can expect runway 15.
I asked for 1 center because 30 was not advertised on the ATIS as being available for landing.
We were just given descend via the Hyper 7 arrival, which has a restriction to turbojet turboprop aircraft capable of 180 knots or greater. And VMO in this airplane is 188. Well, I accepted it, but I got to keep my eye on the speed, keep it up above 180. It's great to get descent via.
49, 56, Potomac approach, welcome up.
The bottom of it, which is 4,000, our altitude pre-select, and all the appropriate altitudes that are on the arrival are appropriately loaded, and our VNAV is armed. And yeah, we're good to go.
Tower 929 Delta Alpha, wind sir 32014, gust 21. You can land the parallel structure. Do you need you want to land 30?
Oh, if we can take 30, that'd be great for 9 Delta Alpha.
I mean, that's what I can do. I got enough space, and let me see if I can get 30 for you.
You're the best. Thank you, 9 Delta Alpha.
This controller was a godsend.
9 Delta Alpha, just maintain 2000, report runway 30 on site.
Okay, 2000, and we do have the runway in sight for 9 Delta Alpha.
Roger, I'll clear you in just a second. I need a Copa. He's going to land runway 10 center. With this clear you in just a second.
Okay, thank you, 9 Delta Alpha.
Our 9 Delta Alpha, cleared visual approach for runway 30. Let's maintain visual separation to the 737. He's going to land just in another second or two.
Okay, cleared for the visual 30, and now we have that 73 in sight, 9 Delta Alpha.
9 Delta Alpha, connect Dulles Tower 120.1. He'll cross 30 in just another 10-15 seconds, sir.
Okay, 120.1, 9 Delta Alpha. Take care. Thanks for your help. Dulles Tower, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is on a visual for 30.
Alright, November 929 Delta Alpha, Dulles Tower, runway 30, clear to land, wind 310, gust 21.
Clear to land 30, 9 Delta Alpha.
Delta Tower, right, sir, wind 32011, and runway 30, clear to land.
Clear to land 30, 9 Delta Alpha. Okay, manual lights. Good. Carrying a little extra speed is just cause 9985.
Sorry about the camera angles on this landing. My forward-facing GoPro quit for some reason late during the approach.
There's your video right there. That was cool.
That was great.
Allow me to introduce Rachel Hill. Rachel's one of our agents at Blue Raven Entertainment and works tirelessly to keep us busy.
Well, I think tributes work, number one, because everyone loves the idea of nostalgia, and it's a trip down memory lane, and not for nothing to go see the quote-unquote real Eagles that are not even necessarily the real Eagles, are, $300 a ticket,
Right.
and you can get something that's literally just as good, per
Right.
se, for, 30, 40, 50 bucks.
This was our first time into the State Theater, and we really wanted to do well there. Virginia is a sweet spot for this band, and we already had a good foothold in Leesburg, about an hour away. The room itself was a setup for a good show, seating as well as standing room and lots of alcohol. It's these kinds of details that make our agents so important. They can suss out a room, a location, the clientele, and they know whether or not it's going to work for us. So much of our success has come from the diligence and hard work and expertise on the part of our agents at Blue Raven. They are the unseen members of the band. This is Armand Saulnier, an agent who is working with our main agency and who's responsible for bringing us to the state. Here we are at intermission. How are we?
Well, I've booked some of the biggest tribute acts on the East Coast here, Tusk and Bruce and USA and Hollywood Nights, and this is the most people that any band has brought in the first time.
There was no doubt that this was a fantastic audience. They were packed up against the stage and they just couldn't get enough of it. To be honest, they were singing so loud all night that all of us were having trouble hearing each other in our in-ear monitors. It was about as good as it gets. Wow, so they're happy. We're having
They'll
a blast.
Be ecstatic.
Yeah, we're having a blast. I mean, this is a really energetic crowd.
Yeah, it's an amazing place, and the money is good. So that's all.
Awesome. That's good. Well, thanks for.
There's money?
Thanks for having us.
Sure.
Prediction?
Yeah, I mean, like last time you had there's a bar. There was a bar.
We're gonna have a couple of fatalities.
And with that, we closed out a spectacular night. The next morning, the flying conditions were about as good as it gets, and they were supposed to stay that way throughout the day and into the night. This was all due to a very large high-pressure area over the East Coast, allowing for severe clear. As usual, the routing was so typical for the East Coast. The for-flight expected routing was way out of the way of what a direct flight would be. Unlike some of the other times that I've faced that with these episodes, I decided to go ahead and file and take whatever they gave me because the flight was so short, 35 minutes actually, and it was such a nice day for flying, I kind of wanted to savor it. Here's the PDC clearance. In case you don't have this feature on ForeFlight, it's totally worth it.
Executive 436 Papa, contact the ramp 119.12.
1912 for 436 Papa, thanks.
Air Wisconsin 943 Alpha Dallas ground to ATC is Alpha. I believe you had it. Runway 30, taxi via Zulu Yankee 11.
Runway 30 via Zulu Yankee 11, Wisconsin 943 Alpha. Yes, we have Alpha.
Dallas ground, Meridian 99 Delta Alpha, information Alpha, and jet ready to taxi.
November 929 Delta Alpha Dallas ground. Runway 30, taxi via Zulu. Hold short of Alpha.
Zulu, hold short of Alpha, 9 Delta Alpha.
November 929 Delta Alpha, Dallas Tower, runway 30, line up, wait, caution, wait turbulence.
Line up and wait, 9 Delta Alpha. Watch where he leaves the ground. Want to be airborne before that, which I think we really will.
November 929 Delta Alpha, wind 2206, turn left heading 280, runway 30, clear for takeoff.
Heading at 280, clear for takeoff, 309 Delta Alpha.
Show 42 Delta Tower, runway 30, line up, wait. Alright, 42 Alpha Whiskey, Delta Tower, runway 19, line up, wait.
Line up and wait, 2 Alpha Whiskey.
Alright, 29 Delta Alpha, contact towards departure.
Departure 9 Delta Alpha, so long. Delta departure, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, 2000, climbing 3000, 280 sign.
929 Delta Alpha, Potomac, or actually radar contact, climb and maintain 4000.
4000, 9 Delta Alpha. Delta Alpha's 9000, information Papa, request RNAV to 8.
929 Delta Alpha, Harrisburg approach. Airspace 3014, clear at Juvis. Descend and maintain 4000.
Juvis 4000, 9 Delta Alpha.
As is typical on easy flying days, Ken and I always start talking about the band or playing or something philosophical or deep.
Being here. I try to focus on really internalizing the tempo and trying to stay behind and pocket. That's for sure. If that's the thing that goes through my head 99% of it. Like, where am I in relation to the click? And am I giving it that feel? Am I giving it that laid back feel? Right. Yeah, just creating that tiny bit of tension. Right. Yeah. And then I listen to where my snare is being placed with the other instruments. Actually, I gotta be honest, I probably listen to your guitar more than any other instrument, whole band. Right. I don't even listen to the bass. I listen to your guitar because so much of this stuff is like Witchy Woman is a perfect example. And you're a good timekeeper, so it's fun to lock with you because you have a good sense of time. Cap City Tower, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is outside Tiffany.
Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, Capital City Tower, runway 8, winds calm, cleared to land.
Clear to land 89 Delta Alpha. All right, manual, lights, flaps, 3 green.
Supporting the local community. Right. And like the conversation I was just having, it's one hand washes the other. You bring a show like this to town, it gets people out and about for the night. The local restaurants benefit from it. The local shops benefit from it. People are walking around the town all day long. Right. And then the theater has a great show, and we're able to bring people together, and everyone leaves their differences at the door, and we all come together and we unite over 2 hours of great music, and no one talks about politics or religion or any of the stuff that we argue about on a day-to-day basis. Right. We just come together and celebrate a night of good music.
I honestly couldn't have said it better myself. Rachel and Sean, and really everyone over at Blue Raven, have done such a spectacular job growing our brand over the last 8 years. There is no way we could have even come close to achieving what we have now were it not for them.
Blue Raven Entertainment is a booking and management company. We handle a roster of about 40 acts, both national and tributes, and we book shows all around the country and beyond, some shows in the UK, some shows in Canada. I came to a showcase with Eaglemania many moons ago, right. And truth be told, they could not even get through Hotel California at that time. We've come a long way, though. That's right. They are arguably the #1 touring tribute nationally to the Eagles. 5-part harmonies, 100% live. And 6-part harmonies because the drummer who's interviewing me has also added a vocal strain to the band. So, yes, unbelievable show. And we're in Carlisle, PA tonight for a packed house at the Carlisle Theater. We're averaging between 80 and 100 shows a year, and we're on the brink of going full-time, hopefully, in the next year.
For those of you who've been following this vlog diligently, you know I always promise to deliver the briefing, be it good or bad. In this case, it couldn't be more straightforward VFR, so feel free to fast forward to the flying. And the forecast for the 40-minute flight leaving at 11:30 p.m. was not that much different. A quick glance at the forecasted icing and turbulence, as well as the AirMet forecast, yielded pretty much nothing. So I filed direct at 7,000 feet because I knew that by Allentown I would need to be at 5,000 feet, which is always what they do when approaching Caldwell from the southwest. The 4-flight suggested routing was pretty circuitous, so I filed direct for the unlikely possibility that they would actually give it to me. I also reviewed the ODP, which called for a climb to 1,500 feet on runway heading off runway 26 before proceeding on course.
9 Delta Alpha, roger, cleared to Caldwell via Stillwater, direct, climb maintain 3,000, expect 7,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.1. Squawk 4253, hold for release.
929 Delta Alpha is cleared to Caldwell via direct Stillwater, direct 3000, 7010, 124.1, 4253, 9 Delta Alpha.
9 Delta Alpha, clears you back correct, and how soon you be ready and which runway are you departing?
We can be ready right now, and runway 26, 9 Delta Alpha.
And 9 Delta Alpha, upon departure, when able, you can proceed directly to Stillwater. Release for departure, clearance voice not by 0410.
Okay, 9 Delta Alpha is released, 9 Delta and direct Stillwater. Cap City's traffic, Meridian is taking runway 26, going to be departing to the north at Cap City. Departure, Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is 1,900, climbing 3,000, turning direct Stillwater.
November 902, 900 Delta Alpha, Harrisburg departure, ident, climb maintain 7,000.
7,000, 9 Delta Alpha.
9 Delta Alpha, radar contact, just 2 miles west of Capital City Airport.
Allentown approach, good evening. Meridian 929 Delta Alpha, 7,000, direct Stillwater.
929 Delta Alpha, Allentown approach, Allentown Timber 3006.
06, 9 Delta Alpha.
And shortly after that, we were handed off to New York.
Nick approach, good evening. Meridian 929 Delta Alpha is 5,000 with the AWAS at Caldwell, request the RNAV 22 via Lady.
929 Delta Alpha, go direct to Lady. Expecting 22 Caldwell, altimeter 30, it's actually 3022.
3022 and direct Lady 9 Delta Alpha. Huh?
Let's say the heading again for Delta 29.
He's using an altimeter setting that's really old.
Thank you, sir. 200.
929 Delta Alpha, descend to maintain 3,000.
3,000, 9 Delta Alpha.
Number 929 Delta Alpha, let's use the altimeter in Newark 3006. Most of the automation at Caldwell has been out all night, so I'm not too confident in that other one I gave you.
That's what I thought, 9 Delta Alpha. That's the case. And our minima go up by 50.
9 Delta Alpha, cross Lady at 3,000, clear the RNF 22 approach.
Lady at 3,000, clear for the approach, 9 Delta Alpha. It's quite a sight.
Beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
9 Delta Alpha, radar service terminates, frequency change approved.
Okay, 9 Delta Alpha, we can cancel our IFR with you.
9 Delta Alpha, remain on the beacon code till the ground IFR cancellation received. Have a great night.
2, 9 Delta Alpha.
Looking at the crosswinds, 24?
Yeah, up here, but on the ground it's nothing like that.
Yes, I see the runway.
Hey, manual lights. And landing light. Flaps 3 green.
Minimums.
Next time on Life in the Fast Lane. A challenging landing in gusty conditions and icing at night, plus 2 venues that couldn't be more different. It's another episode of Life in the Fast Lane.